what the person in Guinea-Conakry says. That I now say to this Guinea-Conakry who's walking the streets of Johannesburg, go home. They don't understand it. And the reason they don't understand it is because during the course of the struggle, the continent came to own South Africa. The very, very much South African. This South African struggle was not just a South African struggle, it was their struggle. So, one prediction I will make, the Africans will continue to come to South Africa. It doesn't matter what you do. You can't change the hearts and the minds of these Africans. It's a particular frame of mind with regard to South Africa which they have to liberate. What we as South Africans have got to do is to say, how do we deal with this? You are not going to solve the problem of unemployment here by shouting against undocumented Africans. And leave the culprits. The culprits are sitting here. Yeah. I can even tell you their names.
No, don't tell us. Don't tell us.
But we're pointing fingers at the wrong people, and people are shouting. I'm saying that there's a regression that's taken place. That sense of African integration that we had 25 years ago, I think has receded. Why? I don't know. But that's a question.
We're saying about this. You know, people maybe don't understand this. The commitment of the African continent to the liberation of South Africa is very strong. I'm talking about the commitment of the ordinary people, not governments and parties, the ordinary people. And there's a particular sentiment towards South Africa from the continent. A sense of ownership, of belonging. And you can't change it. It's right through the continent. South Africa belongs to all of us. It's our thing. And of course, it's more developed and all of this and the other thing. There is no way we as South Africans are going to stop Africans coming to South Africa. No way. I don't care how many electrical fences you build. It's going to happen. So the challenge we face as South Africans is to how do we deal with that? You can't keep these fellow Africans out of South Africa, and you can't define our relationship with South Africa versus the other Africans as enemies. These are our enemies who've come to our country to take our jobs and all of that. They will come. I'm saying I don't care how many electrical fences you build. With the challenge we face, what is it that we do in order to respond to that problem? You know, there was this issue was discussed in KZN, and a commission was formed under Judge Navi Pillay a few years back, and this matter was raised. There are so many people from the rest of the continent.
We are going to put it straight to you. The problem here are the white people. Because of profits. They control the South African economy. They are saying it in our faces that we are in control of the South African economy. It doesn't matter who is in control as government. And as a result, so they pride themselves to say we are in control. We even control government. As a result, we're saying we the black people are going to stand up and mobilize ourselves and take our land. We've got evidence to that effect. So even those who claim to be commercial businesses, we know you are there as a result of this. And we even did a mistake in law. No one needs to explain to any white person what they did in dispossessing black people. Even if they have established commercial farms or established schools or any establishment they have done, that video is telling a white person who is unsuspecting to say you dispossessed people when they owned the land. Today we are labeled with a belittling label of being a labor tenant. You are telling a person who once owned the land through their forebears. Today it is a white man who's a landowner. Blacks are now tenants. And this is entrenched even in the governmental systems and the language and the labeling. When you say landlords, it's no longer blacks, it's whites. That's a correction we must make. 2, may I say, when I saw the minutes of the Native Affairs Department in 1960, the title of the minutes said, this is the right time to take the land of the Mtetwas in Paul Petersburg to give it over to other tribes. I saw those records with my own eyes, and I was in pain. And you know, when did they take them? During the death of Inkosi uMandla kaYise Mthethwa in 1960. They said, Mtetwas will be in mourning the whole year. So take their land now. The culture does not allow them to interfere with other people, at least while they are mourning. It will be after mourning that they will come. By the time they come, their land will be gone. This is the practice of Roman, Dutch, and British law. The white man's law that is being used to now return our land. We must now go through the eye of a needle to conform to Roman, Dutch, and British law when our land was never packaged by Romans and by the Dutch and by the British. That's an error. So when land is being returned, you are not doing us a favor, neither government nor white people. You took our land. You are just returning stolen property. And that must be clear. So I don't need to account to anyone. What am I doing with that land? It is my inheritance through my forebears. The same way the farmers are claiming ownership of the farms they're sitting on. They say, here is made you the fatherland. But a black person cannot say the same thing. To say, this is my father's land. And I must explain to a white person. And I must go to court to explain myself. And yet, when a white man says, this is my father's land, it's understandable. When a black man says, this is my forebears' land, it's not understandable because the law we are using is very wrong.
We have got more than 13 million people in South Africa who are looking for jobs and cannot find jobs. And this is due to, 1, government's failure to effectively address undocumented migration in South Africa. 2, its lack of clear industrial policy that expands to all corners of South Africa. 3, there is no proper alignment of education and the industry in South Africa in a way that is going to provide jobs for our people. 4, there is massive corruption within the state, which shrinks the revenue which was going to be utilized to create jobs for our people. 5, there is continued deindustrialization in South Africa. There is also no support for agricultural production in South Africa. There is also continued dependence on neoliberal economic policies that have failed to create jobs in South Africa. But also there is continued illicit financial outflows and tax-based erosion in South Africa. As we articulated in the statement that we issued in relation to unemployment, part of the practical interventions that we're going to make will include expansion of the agricultural support program based on a household responsibility system, which we think must be priority in everything else that we do as Africa Might Be a Movement. And we're going to pursue aggressive localization and industrialization in all our areas. And we're going to utilize strategic state procurement to buy goods locally and services that are made here in South Africa. And the other important issue is to eliminate corrupt tender system and replace it with a capable and transparent state that will deliver our services to the people.